what are we looking at? Well, Donald Trump don't strike me as the kind of man who just likes to lose. Of course, Nancy Pelosi don't strike me as the kind of man that likes to lose either. In fact, none of the rich elites really do. None of them do. So, what does that mean? It just means that I've seen them lose before and they don't lose gracefully. So what do we got going into this? So without a 11th hour fucking save here, without something, okay, just say that that's Q stuff. I'll call it the Q stuff, right? Say that stuff's all bullshit. What do we got? Well, we got this fucking representative, from this video. I got to play this for you.
Speaker, St. Louis and I rise in support of the article of impeachment against Donald J. Trump. If we fail to remove a white supremacist president who incited a white supremacist insurrection, it's communities like Missouri's 1st District that suffer the most.
Listen to her. White supremacist, white supremacy. Oh my fucking God. I thought we were past this. I thought we already got past this whole fucking Trump white supremacist stuff. I mean, if he's a white supremacist, he's the fucking worst one I've ever seen. Not to mention the white supremacists do not like Trump. In fact, white supremacists supported Biden because doing so, Biden winning, helps to perpetuate the acceleration. What's the acceleration? Well, maybe I should make a separate video about what acceleration is. In any event, they call him Zion Don. They don't like him. Okay, believe me, they got no love for him. He's not a white supremacist, but this lady with her fucking narrative perpetuating of white supremacy and all these white supremacists stormed the fucking Capitol, never mind the ones that were not white, of course, because that kind of small, insignificant detail isn't really relevant, is it? So when you got somebody talking like this, what do you got? What's left here? You know, this isn't about anything more complicated than control. Control isn't, it's really simple, man. You remember over the last few years, you have heard ideas floated around. This was basically like them guinea pigging these ideas by asking people stuff like, how do you feel about the one card? What's the one card? Well, it would be a card that you have that would be an ID, but it would be more than an ID. You know, it would also have your credit information. It would also have access to your bank account. It would also be your passport and every other fucking thing. Right? This ID would take the place of all other cards. Everything else, every other form of identification, every other kind, because this one card would do all that. And people were kind of like, not real enthusiastic about it. They even talked about a chip that would do the same thing, if you remember. That could be put in your head, actually. They talked about that later on. But first, it was a chip that goes under your skin. You know, like the same way that you would chip a cat or a dog that you want to track. And people were not very enthusiastic about this idea. So I see this as they were guinea pigging the small part of the bigger plan, which is fucking control and reset. Look at this credit thing, right, that they've been talking about, this social credit score. This is a really odd construct to kind of get through. I do know that it has something to do with factors outside of money and earnings, which doesn't really make any sense to me when you're talking about a credit score, why you would want to look at factors. I mean, unless you're trying to find a way to make a metric that shows whether or not a person is honorable. That might make sense. Like, is this the kind of person who's honorable, who tries to pay, they're the kind of person who would try to pay their debts? Because that might get you like a little bit of leeway when it comes to lending. Like, I would get that, but that's not what this is about. It's about other stuff. In fact, it goes to social media posts even. They had said, yeah, if your social credit score, which would replace the credit score, so it would be the credit score. Your social credit score would then also be affected by your social media presence and the things that you say and do online. So, really? Are you fucking kidding me? Well, of course, it's not a popular idea because it's crazy. I don't think even the people that are lefties like this idea. You never know when what you are saying is in or out of favor. Social credit score, it's a bad fucking idea. It's an idea that has everything to do with control. You know, just like everything related to banking, it's about control. It's always about control and money. You know, you control the way people think. You control the way that you even control, to an extent, entertainment, what people do for relief from stress. You control the thought process. You control the money. That's just what it comes down to. You control the people. You control the money. And this is what they want. And they want it globally. Globalists, like I've said before, communists. Communism is a part of it. Zionists, if you prefer the racist angle. Doesn't fucking matter. It's all the same thing. It describes all the same people and the same actions. Right, so is our system right now a white supremacist system? Is that what we're living in right now? Well, as the majority of the system and the foundation of that system was created by white people, even though in this day it doesn't benefit any particular race or group of people more than anybody else, I mean, it benefits the people who are employed, it benefits the people who try, it benefits the people who are creative and have determination and the will to succeed. It benefits those people, but that's just, I think that's just normal. So I mean, if you want to look at it like this system only benefits white people because it's a white supremacist system, it's a crazy thought. It doesn't matter really what it was 150 years ago, because it's not that now. It has had laws passed, constitutional amendments made, and laws passed to make it a level playing field for anything that was actually unequal. And there's nobody that's unequal. The only people I can think of that are unequal in this system nowadays are felons and people who are on the sex offender list. And I say the same thing about that, only to say that something as mild as pissing in fucking public can get you put on the sex offender list. Or those are the only people in the country I can think of that don't have equal rights. I can't think of anybody else that doesn't. So the point is, this narrative, I mean, these people that are pushing this, right, like this House representative and other people who are gung-ho, say, for Biden because they feel that if you don't do that, then you're supporting this racism or whatever the fuck. People who actually think that, who get like that. I mean, somebody needs to get it through their fucking head to them that what they're actually supporting is communism and complete control. Supporting the people whose agenda it is to do their best to globalize everything in the world and then to put that globalization under a system or a set of protocols that will make every single person controllable, malleable in how they think, how they act. I mean, as far as affecting the food. And if you don't, what are you talking about the food? Listen, fast food is fucking terrible. This country went really hardcore against cigarettes at a certain point. I know it started in the 90s. There was a guy that was the whistleblower in the fucking tobacco company, and that was a big deal. And by like 2010, there was just a push for no more cigarettes. Like, can't smoke anywhere anymore legally, and prices have gone to astronomically unfairly high. And everybody knows that cigarettes are not good for you, and that's fine, right? You're telling me, though, that we can have a push like that on cigarettes when fast food probably contributes to more bad health than cigarettes even? More people eat fast food than smoke cigarettes. More people eat fast food for a longer period, and fast food causes more complications. And not just fast food, all other kinds of junk food. Part of that control is the price. So you mean to tell me that this country gave a fuck so much about health, they couldn't do that? Well, of course they could do that. But having people when they are in mediocre health means they're less likely to see other things because they got other stuff in front of them. It means that they're less likely to fight back, physically and mentally, because that shit takes a toll on your body. People are less likely to fight back against any other kind of control. So yes, food is part of it. And well, what does that mean? So there's fast food, and so they don't pump healthy food as much as they should. Okay, well, what about this shit with Bill Gates buying all this farmland? Why the fuck is Bill Gates buying farmland? He ain't a farmer. What's he want to do? Rent it out to people that grow shit like he wants? I mean, look at this shit with his vaccine and this RNA thing in it that changes your molecular. Shit's crazy. Who's taking that? I'm not taking that. Who would want to? See, the way I've heard it is that there are two vaccines. One of them is this fucked up genetic one, and one of them is something that's pretty much equivalent to like a flu vaccine. So I don't care because I don't need either because I'm not at a health risk. But the point is, Gates, for sure, no doubt, nobody can dispute this, has been spearheading the movement to get people to take the funky one, right? So now he wants to buy a bunch of farmland. Why? Because fucking Every aspect of control is what these globalists want. They want every aspect of control. They want financial control. They want control over the entertainment industry, over the propaganda, the news. They want the news so they can give you the right propaganda. They want the entertainment industry so they can further that propaganda. They want to make sure everybody fucking falls in line, and it's all part of control. It's all part of control. Keeping you eating shitty food. It's all part of fucking control. And to keep you fucking complacent. So we're waiting for this 11th hour save. We're waiting for the other fucking shoe to drop. And all I can say is Donald Trump does not strike me as a man who just fucking sucks up a bad defeat, especially a defeat where he was cheated, and just says, all right, see ya, I'm out. I know a lot of people are having this emotional thing, feeling let down. Let's talk about that for a second. A lot of people got these fucked up feelings like, did we back the wrong person and all this shit? And I'm just saying that with this whole concept of doesn't strike me as the kind of person to lose. It's more than that though, man. You know, Trump may have looked at running the United States as a challenge. He may have looked at it as a patriotic duty. But what he didn't look at it was a way for him to whore fucking money. You don't want to do it and fail. All the Q people, conspiracy people, patriots, every variant of everybody, they all have their different theories on what's going on, and I just gotta say this troop buildup is crazy. I mean, you gotta think about it, dude. Like, there were all these people in the Capitol. Okay, there was plenty of opportunity to turn the Capitol into another fucking autonomous zone. That could have been done. That's not what the fucking patriots want. So this idea that the patriots / white supremacists who are going to oppose Biden's inauguration, I don't fucking buy it. People are not gonna, they don't want this globalist fucking nightmare. This communist globalist fucking control nightmare. So the idea that there are that many troops there because they're gonna put down potential militias, I mean, listen, militias are great for guerrilla fighting, right? The same way that guerrilla fighters are good for guerrilla fighting, but if you put them into an actual strict military program, they don't cut it. And it's the same thing with militia. I've said a lot of positive things supporting fucking militias. I'm not taking that back. I'm just saying that militias have their purpose. They are essentially guerrilla fighters. They're trench fighters. They're people that know how to protect their street, their neighborhood, their city, whatever it is. Getting a bunch of militia people to go to Washington, D.C., for example, to siege a building, that is not their bread and butter. That's not something that they're good at. You could successfully defend the city of D.C. with the police and 1,000 well-armed guardsmen against our militias. Now, if you try to go around town to town, you might need a bigger force. It's different. When a person's in their home area, they know a lot of people, they might be able to convince people who otherwise wouldn't do anything until they see tanks rolling down their street. That's fucking different. But like an actual siege on the fucking capital of the nation, that's not the wheelhouse of the fucking militia. And 10 to 20,000 troops, that's not just overkill. That's like fucking somebody swings at you with a baseball bat and you throw a fucking A-bomb at them. It's not, there's no logic to that. It's not even in this, it's just not the same scale. It's just crazy. Those troops are not there for that. No matter how much they want to say they are, no matter how much people want to imply that's what they're there for, I just don't believe that's what they're there for. There would be a far more significant, there is a far more significant threat to individual state capitals than there is to the nation's capital, because spreading it out state by state divides the forces. That's more manageable. That makes a fuckload more sense. Make more sense to put like 3,000 troops in every state capital. That would make more sense, but that's not the way they're doing it. They're focusing a fuck ton of them on Washington. This big thing at the Capitol, I don't know what it's for. It feels to me like it's all the same thing, and I don't want to be sounding like these Q guys or whatever the fuck you want to call them, like Charlie and Simon, these guys. I don't want to be sounding like them, giving out like some kind of false hope, like I know something. I don't know nothing. I'm just using logic. Logic fucking dictates. They took away freedom of speech and crippled it fast. They've already got more information on how they are going to get rid of guns fast. It's a question of whether or not they get rid of all guns or you're allowed to keep some handguns. That's the only question. It's not whether or not they're going to be able to get the legislation through. It's how quickly, and are they going to leave us any crumbs? Shit doesn't really matter, though. I said before, what does it matter if you got even fucking ARs and big magazines and whatever stuff? What does it matter, man? The government's got better weapons. The idea is to keep yourself free from oppression, but it doesn't really matter. When it comes down to it, man, you can't beat the fucking military. You can't. Not when they're fucking coming at you. You can't. So it's all fucking arbitrary. It's just a matter, it just makes you less safe with fellow citizens. Or from local gangs or organizations. It's just bullshit. He's already talking about this. He's talking about so much. He's got some of the worst cabinet member picks, like just some of the worst. I've never seen in my lifetime, nor have I ever heard in my lifetime from anybody older than me. I've never seen the media spend so much time talking to somebody who's not yet in office. In fact, the last few weeks, the person who's won the election, if it's not the incumbent, usually just kind of fades out. They talk a little bit about their cabinet picks, and that's it. This motherfucker's giving press conferences, already trying to talk to foreign heads of state, already got people named in his cabinet that are already showing the fucking way that they're going to write laws and house resolutions and shit. They're so fucking gung-ho. They're so thirsty. They're so fucking thirsty. All of that just leads me to believe that they know how vulnerable they actually are. So, do I have hope? I'd like to have hope, because I'm not going to do nothing on the 20th or the 18th or the 19th or the 21st. I'm not going to do nothing, because I firmly believe that there are already too many military everywhere, and as I don't see the military, as I'm not convinced yet that the military is an occupying force. They're definitely overstepping, but as I'm not convinced that they're an occupying force or that they're working for a foreign power, attacking them to me would be treasonous, seditious, etc., so I won't do that. In any event, people that do decide to do that, they're just going to get slaughtered. They're going to get slaughtered. They've already said they're going to use lethal force. There's not going to be a lot of warning shots, if any. There's not going to be a lot of tear gas or rubber bullets. It's going to be right to lethal. So who in their right fucking mind would want to go up against that? I mean, I don't want to say any more about that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this goes the worst fucking direction, right? I'm completely wrong. These Q people are wrong about Trump and the long game. I'm completely wrong about where I'm getting to by deducing with fucking logic what makes sense. If that happens, what's next? Well, it's this globalist control. That's what they're going to try to do. And the stuff that they thought that they could get people to do voluntarily, that they didn't like the idea of, all of this acceleration from them is to get to that point. The left believes that there is going to be a Biden inauguration and that the right is going to rise up and attack. They still believe this even after seeing the numbers of guard just in DC alone go from 5,000 to 10,000 to 15 to now they're up to saying as many as 26 or 28,000. Nobody in their fucking right mind is going to attack an army of that size. Unless they're an army too. And, dude, I'm sorry, militia is just not an army. A bunch of fucking citizens, admittedly, a lot of them middle-aged and in okay health, but not in the peak of their fucking youth. They're not going to do that. They're not going to try it. They're not going to try it. They're just not. The fear-mongering that they're trying to say this is for sure going to happen has got some of these other people on the left, some who may have previously been moderate, it's got them all crazy. It's not going to fucking happen. And the fear of the people on the right that Trump is going to put this shit down, something's going to happen, and then the left, the fucking commies and the, globalists, they're going to, Antifa style go crazy. Well, that could happen. If that happens, that will. I mean, if it's true, if what they're saying is true, and he does pull his 11th hour save out, yeah, that is going to happen. But the thing about that is, if that happens, you're allowed to defend your neighborhood against people like that would go crazy and try to burn and destroy stuff. So that is really the way that we ought to hope that this goes. Because if it goes the other fucking way, taking a stand on the 20th is a bad idea. There's going to be so many infiltrators there I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you had like 20 fucking Antifa in a group together in any city. Maybe they won't do it. Maybe they won't do it in DC because they want to do it somewhere where they got a chance of lasting a little bit longer. But you get even 20 of them together, all wearing MAGA gear, acting like, MAGA, militia, patriot, etc. You get them doing that. That's all they need is a little bit of video that to run with and keep playing on a fucking loop, just like they've done with some of the stuff at the Capitol. That's all they're looking for. So that's going to happen no matter what. If the military, who is there, and the police in each one of these cities, if they don't put a stop to that immediately, it's just going to be more bad press. And as far as actually doing something, yeah, we can't just let it stand. It can't just be like, oh, well, we're done. But this isn't it. This isn't it. There's a smarter move than this. This isn't it. Let's see how it plays out. Give it a little bit of time to play out. Because they've already taken all the freedoms. A lot of people that they're going to take our freedoms. The truth is they've already taken them. They took them in November. Or before that when they started this plan. But I mean, they officially took them on record for everybody to see in November when that thing went the way that it did. That was the day that it actually happened. That was the day that all this other stuff that some people hadn't even heard of till then started to come. It was already out before that. That's just the day that they recognized it. We've already been done for a while now. So we're not going to lose freedoms starting next week. They're already gone. The choice is either we have a good leader who steps in and fixes it, or we have to figure out how to combat it in a smarter way, because just deciding to go toe-to-toe with people who have better weapons and more ammo and more training is just a way to get everybody fucking killed. So that's not a good idea. And one last thing that I would say, and this is I'm sure that I'm not alone in this, even though a lot of other people won't say it, but if this goes fucking bad and this goes super far left and it goes like I said before, where I said the only thing that's going to surprise us about the administration is that when we find a low that's a new low, how quickly it gets passed by another new low. Just things we can't fucking believe that are going to fly, right? If that happens, at that point, if it gets that bad, then the only kind of person who is going to be able to offer any kind of credible opposition to what is there is going to be a fascist. Then you're going to be put between a choice of a communist and a fascist, or a globalist and a fascist. That's what it's going to come down to. And I'll tell you, you will have a lot of people that'll say, fucking, I'd rather deal with the fascism. I don't care if it's, got things about it I don't like. I would rather fucking deal with that than with these people. So that's what's going to happen. And to go from where we were 9 months ago to that in a fucking year, it's incredible, really. But it's not going to stand. So for now, I got to just say, at least is my feeling today, we're going to have to work on this. Trust the plan. Just trust the plan for now. All right, that's it. All right, I forgot to mention a couple of things. First of all, it's false flag shit, dude. Like I was talking about, there's no way that you need that many guard there for militia. Just like there was a supposed bomb threat at the Virginia courthouse today, and they cleared the courthouse. I don't know, somebody called it in or they saw something suspicious, whatever it was. False flag, I'm guessing. But either way, they cleared the building. Nothing came of it, right? I'm driving home and I'm downtown and I see a fucking cop walking with a dog around a bank, and the dog's sniffing around, and I'm like, dude, are you fucking telling me they got a bomb sniffing dog walking around a bank? And this is just a bank on one of the main streets. It's like a bank, one US Bank, fucking Wells Fargo, something. With a bomb sniffing dog. They're just doing it like as a perfunctory response. Like, really, dude? Like, the right-wing people are not just gonna fucking attack banks like this and shit like this. It's just crazy. So why are they doing that? I don't know. There was another note of a suspicious package at Google. Apparently, suspicious fucking package. Whoever called it in, they decided they were going to clear the fucking building. And again, it was nothing. But man, look at all this hype in the media. I mean, and right in front of my fucking eyes. I saw this guy. I mean, I literally wanted to roll the window down. Literally wanted to slow down, though, and get this guy's attention and be like, dude, are you fucking serious? You're really walking around this building with a bomb dog? Who the fuck do you think is going to attack this building? I mean, this isn't even like a small branch of a bank like you might imagine there are in smaller cities. This is like the downtown version of whichever big bank this was. So this is a huge fucking building. This isn't even like an Antifa target. Like at the worst, if they went past a place like this, they might smash the windows. And if like the BLM was there and they were like, you know, looting mood, the worst thing they're going to do is be able to smash the windows because there's nothing that they can actually get in and grab. And the right-wingers, as far as that's concerned, I mean, I'm not even sure they'd have to be able to build something pretty damn destructive to take that building down, because it's a huge fucking building. This isn't a small building. So why were they there? Who do they suspect was going to attack? Who are they just protecting? I don't know. But this shit's just going to keep going, man, these false flags. And that's just why I say, with all the false fucking flags comes the buildup of troops. And the fact that I just don't believe that a guy like him just fucking loses like that and goes, oh well, fuck it. Plus throws his last 4 years of work in the garbage, because essentially that's what it is if he walks away, because everything good he's done will be gone. I just don't see it.